Hello there and welcome to a new video on my YouTube channel. Today we're diving into the world of Copilot Studio. So if you've ever dreamed of having your very own AI buddy to streamline workflows and impress your coworkers, this tutorial is especially for you. I just bought the license for Copilot for my user. So we're really starting from scratch here and we're just going to find out together whether it's helpful, useful, and it's worth the money. I am paying $30 per user per month. So that's the price that we want to get some productivity for. All right. When you bought the license and assigned it to your user, you will be able to go to this URL, copilot.microsoft.com, and then you will be automatically prompted with the screen to set up an agent. And if this is not the case, you're just able to go to the Copilot Studio dashboard and click on set up a new agent, and that will bring you to this screen. The first step is to give the agent a name, and we will call ours Gil Bates. I asked Bill if I could use his real name, but he hasn't responded yet. Next up, we can define what this agent is all about. So this is basically the purpose, the description, and we say that this is for testing purposes. Next up, we can define the instructions. So for example, the user that will use this agent does not know any IT definitions. Then you can give the instructions to not use difficult words. We are just going to provide it a pretty general instruction. The last step is to add information sources to your Copilot that your agent can use. But because this is limited before creating the agent, we will do this in a later stadium. And now we're going to hit create for the new agent. So this brings us to the overview of the newly created agent. And as you can see, there are some tabs. The first tab is knowledge. And as you can see, we've added 0 sources of information. We're going to do this later. The third tab is topics. And this brings you with a list of topics or themes your Copilot can talk about, like customer support, product features, or troubleshooting. So these are all things to improve the use of your Copilot. Then we have the actions tab. And this is where your Copilot learns how to do tasks and not just answer questions. So this is a section where you can add these type of actions. And then you have the activity tab. And as you can see, there is no activity to display because we've done nothing yet. And then at last you have the analytics, which also shows how the Copilot agent is being used. So these are the tabs within the overview of the agent we've just created. And there's also one tab for the channels. And this is in which channel you want to enable this Copilot agent. So we currently added 0 data sources, but we are already able to start testing. So that makes me curious where we are at right now. So let's just prompt a question about a daily routine and see where we're at. Something that you are not able to see because I do cut a little bit in the videos is that this has taken pretty much longer than something like ChatGPT from OpenAI. But it does provide us with I assume, pretty general routine. So if that's what we're looking for, that's what we're getting right here. I'm also curious whether it has access to my Outlook calendar or agenda, whether it's adjusting this to the routine it will give us. So the reason that the agent is able to give us this general information is because allow the AI to use its own general knowledge is enabled. If you enable this, then the AI will use its general knowledge till a certain point in time. So I wonder what will happen if we're disabling this. So then it will give us the prompt, I'm sorry, I'm not sure how to help with that. Can you try rephrasing? So this basically means that if you disable general knowledge function, then you have nothing if you're not adding your own data sources to the Copilot. So that will just give us the opportunity to really build the Copilot from scratch and to our needs. So if we want to use Copilot agents in our organization, we can say, okay, we only want to use it for this, and for the rest, we want to disable all of the functionalities that, for example, connect with wide world available data sources like the internet. So we really can specify and focus this on the things that are happening inside of our organization. For our scenario, we can enable the general knowledge function because we don't mind using general knowledge as a data source for answering our questions. And all of the things that we've seen so far are also possible with the free version of ChatGPT from OpenAI. So the advantage of this should really come from the integration with Microsoft 365. So let's start with connecting to a SharePoint site as our first knowledge source. So in order to test, I have set up a SharePoint site called YouTube example. And within the documents, I have added a folder called not here. And within this folder, I have added a Word document with a code word so that we can test whether it's able to find this code word. So this is purely for testing purposes. So we can connect this as a data source to our Copilot. So to start adding the SharePoint site as a knowledge source, we are going to head over to the general view of our Copilot agent and click on the add knowledge. And then we're going to select SharePoint. And here we are going to copy the URL of our SharePoint site. And we're going to hit add. So now that we have added SharePoint as a data source, it's time to start testing and see if our agent has improved with the additional information that we've given it. And we're going to ask it about the code word, obviously. So we're going to ask it what the code word is. And as you can see, it does know that the code word is subscribe. So it is accessing our SharePoint site for additional information to answer our questions. So we tested Copilot with SharePoint as a data source. So now let's test it with another data source. And we're going to test it with PowerApps. And I have set up a basic application on the account entity. So this is the account entity on this environment. And we're going to connect this. And to set this up properly, we need to connect the account entity that we've used as a knowledge source. So let's select Dataverse and select the account entity. And here it has a preview of the account entity. We're going to hit next and we're going to select add. And now you can see that next to the SharePoint integration, we also integrated our Copilot to the account entity on our environment. And what we want to test is if we can ask it for the main phone number of this record. So let's copy the name and head over to our testing area and ask it what the main phone number is for Litware Inc. And as you can see, now that we've connected this data source, it's able to give us the right phone number for the requested record. And here you can see that it's correct. And the last source that we're going to add to our Copilot for now is a website in the form of a public website. And we're going to add LiveScore. This is a website that gives information about sport events, current scores, all of these things. And we're going to add this as a data source to head over to test. And we're going to ask, who is Chelsea playing today? And then it says Chelsea is playing Arsenal today. All right, so now that we've set up the Copilot agent with 3 of the featured data sources, and we've tested with some use cases, I don't think that the Copilot is at the level of ChatGPT yet. However, it offers the opportunity to train the AI to meet the specific needs, and it allows organizations to define which data sources can be accessed and what users are able to do with AI within the organization, which is very important for organizations that work with sensitive content. And additionally, it enables you to work with information from within your organization, which is extremely helpful. You can ask real-time questions about your organization's data or enhancing the value and usefulness of the AI. So if you've enjoyed this video, please let me know in the comments and give me a like. And let me know if you're positive about the new Copilot features. For now, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.